British fishermen have erupted at Boris Johnson amid growing fears the UK has watered down its demands on fishing at the last minute of Brexit talks. Post-Brexit trade talks between the UK and EU remain on a knife edge, with access to British fisheries proving the main stumbling block to a deal ahead of the looming December 31 deadline. Britain will leave the EU's common fisheries policy and wants to adopt a system of annual negotiations of quotas, rather than a fixed number of catches. The Prime Minister has vowed to take back control of the UK's 200 nautical mile coastline, and it is thought this would involve cutting EU access by up to 60% over a 3-year period. But, with just days to go in negotiations, reports suggest the UK has caved in on this and has offered to reduce the amount of fish EU fishermen can catch by around a third over the next 5 years. The prospect of handing large swaths of fish back to EU vessels has been condemned by UK fishing group Fishing for Leave, who branded the proposal abysmal. Fishing for Leave also claimed if EU fishermen were denied access to UK waters after the 5-year period of adjustment, then tariffs would be imposed on all goods. In a statement, Fishing for Leave said, "After 5 years of waiting to get back just a third of our fish, if we do try to get to where we should be, the EU has a huge lever to whip us to where it wants with the threat of all goods tariffs or rescind the deal." They added, "Essentially we now have a fishing backstop. Nominal independence but no ability to use it because of a bigger issue. Sewn up, stitch up." Britain officially left the EU in January under the Brexit withdrawal agreement, and the UK fishing group has blamed the deal, struck in large by former Prime Minister Theresa May, for the current situation. They argue the treaty should be abandoned and insist the EU has no right to demand a single piece of fish from UK waters. Fishing for Leave added, "No other nation barters raw resources for trade. The Tories should be ashamed they acceded to May's dire deal that's led to this, particularly when they've a majority to rip it up. We are under no obligation to give the EU one tail, yet somehow the narrative of getting a third of our rightful possessions back from our neighbours is okay. It's pathetic."